third aspect of this dunya that we need to understand to be successful is that this life is a test. This life is a test. We're not just going through this life, going through the motions for no reason. You are being watched. You know, like, if you thought there was like a spy in the room, you'd act, you know, kind of different. Maybe not. You'd be uncomfortable, probably. But you know, if you're being watched, you act very differently than if you think you're alone. You are being watched and you are being judged. When the judge is in the room, you act different. You know, if there's like a school and maybe an evaluator is coming, or a teacher, and the principal's coming to evaluate her or him, you know, she puts on her best behavior, right? Naturally. Kids do this. If you're in a contest, when are you going to put your best performance? In front of the judge, right? We are being judged. We are being tested. We are being watched. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Mulk, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Allah is the one who created death and life. Created death and life in order to test you, which of you are best in deeds. So Allah is clearly telling us here the reason He created this whole dunya, this whole idea of life on this earth, life and death, is to test you which of you are best in deeds. The purpose of our creation in general is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The purpose of putting us in this life is to test us. Are we fulfilling that purpose? You notice that, I don't know, you guys, every different region has its own natural disasters, right? So in California, they have earthquakes. I used to live in the Midwest, they have tornadoes. You guys here have monsoons, right? And so usually when you have a natural disaster, you also have something which warns the people if it's coming, right? It's a siren of some sort. Every region has its own version of it. But if I were to tell you that at this time every month, so in the Midwest where I lived, it used to be the first Wednesday of the month, there would be a test siren. So it would be, they were testing the siren. Now when I hear that siren, I'm gonna know that it's just a test, right? Now if I'm in a school and we're doing a fire drill. Did you guys ever do, you do this, right? Obviously. A fire drill when you're in school. You are told that this is a drill, but you still have to act because you're being watched. We are told that this life is a drill. This life is a test. It's being given to us for a very specific purpose, and that is to see how we act. In the same way that if you had a fire drill, your teacher wants to see how are you going to act if it were the, you know, how would you act in the case of a fire? So you know that it's not really real, it's really just a creation to see how you'll act. It's just a creation to see how you'll act. And this whole life is just a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see how you'll act.